Welcome to Sorare TV. Today's community topic video comes to us from subscriber David Sim. Any suggestions on when to buy? I have ETH, but prices seem high since the crypto crash. Now, if you've been keeping up the content across both channels, there's lots of pulling forces at the moment in the Sorare market, and it's opening up lots of opportunities for traders and players to be able to execute lots of different strategies. The blanket answer to what David's saying here is always, it depends on the player, okay? But in my experience, there's a couple of opportunities in terms of the form that they take, how they present themselves to us, that I always try and take advantage of when they show themselves to me. So in the video today, I'll be breaking down those 3 key entry points that I always look for in any of the players that I've identified as pieces that I need to get into my gallery for trading activity, SO5 activity, whatever it might be. At any point in the video today, guys, if you laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe, share and retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble and let's get stuck into it. Now, the very first one, the basic one that everyone has exploited at some point, or at least attempted to exploit at some point, is the out of the spotlight auction, okay? Now, traditionally, depending on what time zone you're in, what's late at night is different to you than it is to somebody else. So there's a lot of kind of Venn diagrams of time zones that you need to kind of think about sometimes, depending on the profile of the player and who they might appeal to, the native audience, that kind of thing. But not just the time of day in terms of like GMT, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, so none of the European people will be awake, or, you know, vice versa or whatever, but also those out of sight ones that when they're just not in the spotlight. You know, when it comes to like up and coming prospects, and I'm thinking about rookies in particular, and that kind of mold of player, it's really hard to spend significant funds on them when they are out the spotlight, when it is like you're just going to buy them and put them on a shelf somehow. But unfortunately, that's probably the best time to do it, because when these guys do get into the spotlight themselves, they're getting appearances, they're getting credits on, you know, timelines on Instagram and Twitter and all these different places for cool skills or nice assists and banging goals. That's when, you know, the ship has sailed. So you need to be thinking way ahead with some of these guys in terms of making sure that you are biting the bullet on this is a guy I back for next season, for this season, for whatever the reasons might be. And the ones that you do need to buy out the spotlight, again, if you've not went through this, most of you guys watching this probably have, but you're exchanging time on that, you know, so you're getting them in nice and early, nice and cheap in your point of view, and you're waiting for that to bear fruit over whatever the time period is. So not just the ones that are late at night, but also the ones that you know that just everyone's not flocking towards at the moment. It's not the in thing at the moment. The second one is probably the one that is used by the more shrewd market operators on Sorare, and that is reward winner collateral, okay? When you're targeting a specific card, no matter what the scarcity is, it more than likely at some point will be won by somebody who does not care for it, who has no want for it, and they will sell it to the highest bidder they can get, in my experience, within 48 hours or so. You know, so if there is a guy that you're waiting for and there's none available at the moment, because you can be at the mercy of, especially with a lot of these new season MLS cards, it really does feel very close to a 1 per week auction in some cases. There's not many guys broke the 10 rare kind of cycle yet. So you are at the mercy of reward winners. You know, some guys I've noticed with MLS in particular have been dished out in like 3-4x in 1 week for rewards, and then they don't come out the next week just because of the way the RNG works or whatever. So making, and especially the higher you go up that, if it's a super rare, if it gets won by somebody, depending on what tier that's fell into and who's actually won it and how valuable it is to them, a lot of reward winners will like do a sale quite quickly after winning something that they don't have any attachment to, because a lot of these guys, you know, whenever you're winning cards, you always want liquid, you know, because you're thinking, I've won something, I want to now go and strengthen my club. And, you know, I've done it, you've done it, a lot of people do it. You know, I win something, I look at Sorare data and it says it's worth 0.25, and I'll accept an offer within like 12 hours for maybe 0.23 or 0.22 or something, and it's like, cool, done, gone. If you're on the receiving end of that and you're maybe picking up something that you think, number one, is undervalued, and you're able to make a quick exchange with somebody, it doesn't need to be raw ETH or raw fiat, but it could be even a card exchange. You know, you're maybe giving 2 or 3 cards over that you don't have as much value in as the prospective cards you're trying to bring in, and subsequently the person you're dealing with is maybe more of a trader, because again, a lot of people that do scoop rewards that will go out and trade them, the bigger accounts, are very affluent and very fluent in the trading language of the platform and how that works. So if you've got Sorare data evaluated cards that can stack up against it, then a lot of guys will do the trades on that kind of thing also. And then for me, the third one is just a blanket trading opportunity. You know, I brought in a super rare and a rare, a bit of a transfer speculation on my part over the weekend, and the cards that I actioned that trade with very quickly, the guy had a rare and a super rare, and I have decided that the speculation I want to make on my gallery includes owning this guy's cards. So I want to go out and acquire one very quickly before speculation widens and the price will be lifted on me. The cards I go and trade him with are cards that on Sorare data valuations and all the rest of it will match up and even exceed the kind of probably the main value. He feels like he's got a win from me, and I feel like I've got a win because I've removed 3 cards out of my gallery, one that I won and had no value for at all, one that I think was about right for value, and then a high profile limited. So my kind of net cost to the gallery isn't much. That's a nice trade opportunity where these things have moved in such a way that I can acquire something that I have high speculation value on for some items that I have no real need, want or desire to own at the moment, and that guy can get 3 items that he's really happy to speculate on, go into the market and trade with, or do whatever he's happy to do with. So it's a win-win situation, and the more win-win trades you can get in Sorare, the easier it becomes to do trades, and you know, as time goes on. If you have a pleasurable experience dealing and trading with people, it will always come back in your favour at some point. If they do win a card later on that you again aspire to get and you send them an offer, they recognise your name perhaps, or maybe they've started following you on Sorare after that pleasant transaction and they remember, oh yeah, that guy was fair to deal with. If he sent me that offer, I should probably look at it because that guy was actually really fair to deal with last time. Whereas sometimes when you're just sending offers out and you don't know people's names or their avatar or whatever, you can just sometimes go, off, they're probably trying to bump me and reject it. But when you recognise a name and you go, oh yeah, that guy actually traded me for the whatever in the past, and again, that's just something that can maybe come back to benefit you in the future. It's one of these intangibles, but it's definitely something I've experienced. I hope you've enjoyed this one today, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share and retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.